We start out on a serious topic with a lady who has been here before in other capacities. She's here today to help us talk about Alzheimer's and the personal effect it can have on us. We welcome once again Eunice Dudley, co-founder of Dudley Products Incorporated here in our backyard, and we welcome you once again.
Thank you.
I say it's a serious topic. You know, I was reading up on this, and Alzheimer's affects a lot of people, doesn't it?
It really does, and it affected me personally. I had a sister that suffered a number of years with it. We unfortunately lost her in October of last year. But during the time that she was in the early stages, it's called dementia, I was able and very fortunate to get training for me and the young lady that lives with me to help take care of her.
Now, what do you mean training? Who did training?
The Alzheimer's Association chapter of the Piedmont, the Western people were able to come in and have a class. It was an all-day session at one of the parks, at Burr Mill Park.
Right.
They had sessions and classes on what dementia is, what Alzheimer's is, and how it affects the caregivers and the families. And that's why I took that class.
And, you know, you've got the component of not knowing what to do. If you don't take a class, you've got the fear of not knowing what to do, not knowing how to help. And then, on top of that, the time, the effort, the emotional strain of it, it had to be tough on you, too.
It really was, especially as you get education, you can deal with it. But without education, you just kind of throw your hands up and say, well, you know, I didn't expect that. I didn't know they were going to do that. There are times that as they progress, they will decide to take the clothes off, or they decide they don't want to take a shower, or they don't want any water to touch them. They don't want to eat. They don't want to take their medicines. All of these things you have to coax them through and realize that it's disease taking over, not that the person is just being difficult or cantankerous.
Right. You know, I know that neither of us is a doctor, medical doctor, but it might help folks at home to go over a little bit more personal information. My question is this. In the early stages with your sister, I mean, what signs and symptoms did you all pick up on that you knew something was wrong?
Well, first of all, she was not cashing her paychecks. And she was renting a house for me, so she was not paying rent. So for a while, you know, I said, okay, I'll just bear the burden.
Right.
But after a while, we couldn't understand.
And that wasn't
was
like her not to pay. So.
Exactly. It was not like her not to pay. And it was a small nominal fee.
Right.
And then after that, we started missing files at the office. And she was the person who was doing the librarian. By trade, she was a librarian.
Right.
And that brought that wealth of knowledge and made sure all our files were in perfect shape.
Exactly.
Then all of a sudden, files started disappearing, or files were in the wrong place, and we couldn't understand what was going on. So first, we sort of took it as being funny.
Right.
You know, maybe she's just getting a little lightheaded.
Right, right.
But as you learn what's happening to the individual, then you know that it's the disease, and that they're not trying to do this on purpose.
Right.
It just happens.
There's not really anything, we just have a few seconds, not really anything at this point we can do to cure it, although there are some things in the works. I mean, how do you feel about some of these controversies about stem cell research and everything and trying to find a cure?
I think it is wonderful to try all avenues to get help. And then there are organizations that I'm a part of, like the NAMBPW, Greensboro chapter, the Greater Greensboro chapter, the Guilford County Panhellenic Council, the Philadelphia Circle at Providence Baptist Church always put on a fundraiser each year to get information out to help people understand this disease and what it does to them and their families.
And education is the key to everything, and up to and including what Eunice was talking about, and getting education when you need to be a caregiver. Serious topic. Every 72 seconds, someone in America is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So help if you can. And I want to thank you for sharing that personal story with us.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for everything.